Warning, the following program is designed for casual wrestling fans and is meant purely for entertainment. If you're SAWFT, proceed at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
Brother, I'm going on a wild Hulk Hogan. If all I get's a moment, I'll make sure it's an explosion. Cause lately I've been seeing stars trying to kick out on this joy cord. But it's no holds barred, middle fingers like I'm Stone Cold.
What is up, everybody? It is WeTooDeep here with DJWAVYD, and on this episode of the Slap and Meat Wrestling Podcast, just to go over our layout here, we're going to cover some full gear thoughts from AEW this past week, and we're going to talk about ESPN's top 30 under 30 list. We'll make our Survivor Series picks. We'll answer a few questions from the Discord, and we'll mention the quarter-final matchups of the Thursday Tuesday bracket round 3. But first, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. As always, Black Friday's on Friday, Cyber Monday's next Monday. When you go to buy your WWE merchandise, use the affiliate link in our description link here, and support the show that way, as well as the affiliate link for Expedia. If you're traveling, I'm sure most of you have already made your plans, but if you're a last-minute traveler and planners like myself, use that Expedia link, and that'll help out as well.
Yeah.
Also, biggest thing, join the conversation. We want to get to know everyone who's listening. Join the Discord. It's where you vote for Thursday, Tuesday. We talk about the shows. Join that Discord. We would love to have you in there. Now let's get cooking. Last week went perfect for me. It was about half the show. It's what I wanted this segment to sort of be, because I'm not the type of person that likes to review Raw. That sort of ruins the viewing experience if I have to take notes. So I liked how we did it. So WavyD came up clutch with that last week. This week he came up with another really good one. He's over there planning. He's cooking. Whatever he got over there, he's cooking. I'm going to go first on this one since I didn't put that much effort into it, because the prompt that he created was essentially, if WWE were to do an all-women's show, how would you present it? And for me, I like the idea. I wouldn't make it something that is overproduced. And what I mean by that is I would take like an hour, maybe 2. You can do a 2-hour show, that's fine, on a channel like the CW. And I would essentially make this all-woman show essentially a mid-card show, because there's so many women on the mid-card that don't get TV time, that this would be that opportunity to present that. My fear is, with using bigger name like main event stars, is that ruins, or they're already on Raw and SmackDown. I don't want to take away from that. So I'm using this as a mid-card show. We have 2 mid-card titles now, and we have the tag team division. So I'm essentially running those 3 divisions. I'm running like 6 matches with some storylines, number 1 contenders matches for these titles, and I'm presenting this in a way that gets these talent over with the fan base. Assuming this isn't going to be the most watched WWE product, I think that gives them the opportunity to present this in a way that is a little bit more fun and experimental. And so you'll probably won't ever see a Rhea or a Bianca, or maybe Bianca because she's tag champion, but you probably won't see a Rhea. You probably won't see Liv. And I don't think you need to. I'm using, Dakota Kai, PFC, some NXT talent. The NXT talent is ready to come up to the main roster. Sol Ruka, Lash and Jakara. I'm using people like that who we can use the show as a way to get them into the main roster and it sort of flow, and it's not just them showing up randomly and then being forgot about, sort of like how Kiana James was. And so I don't think you have to do a whole bunch with it. I can't wait to see what Wavy D has over here because I know he's been planning on this for a couple days. But for me, I don't think you have to overproduce this. I think it's sort of the same thing with like NXT. What makes NXT easier, you don't have to overproduce it because it isn't your number one product. And so with this all-woman show, my fear is if they overproduce it and try to do like the best and try to make it the number one show, the ratings aren't going to support it and then people are going to start shitting on it. And so I think use this as a way to get the mid-card over. And I think that's the best way you can go about doing this. With that being said, now that I'm out of the way, I can't wait to hear what you got to say.
No. So I went a little bit of a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely on board with an all-women show, especially because I feel like we have the talent in WWE right now to put on like a 1 hour, 2 hour weekly show. Whether you see, the thing is that you can easily make it like a Peacock exclusive or whatever, or a Netflix exclusive. Well, the Netflix exclusive is better because Raw is going to Netflix.
Right.
But if all the shows were staying on TV, like traditional TV, I would also want this show on TV because then if it's just like on a streaming site, I feel like it'll get forgotten about easily, just like how like the Cruiserweight channel was and how NXT was when it was on its own streaming stuff, NXT UK and all that stuff.
So, I mean, even NXT Level Up, no one actually knows that exists.
Yeah, NXT Level Up. So I want to put on an even playing field with our current setup of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Whatever you want to call it, you can call it whatever. You can call it Evolution. You can call it, I don't know, a good name. But the direction I went was more of planning Evolution 2 or 3. Which Evolution are they on? Did they only do one Evolution?
They've only done one. They've only done one so far.
Well, I pretty much gave you a card for Evolution 2.
Okay.
All right. So I settled on a 6-match card because I feel like I always kind of get mad at the 5-match card. I feel like the 5 sometimes is just a little too short. Whereas like AEW puts on like a 8-9 match card, sometimes 10. So I feel like 6 is kind of like that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Cause especially like when it's 5 and you got like, you know, two or three of them that are like you already know what's gonna happen, and then like say one of them turns into a bum match,
or even something like Survivor Series where like you got the 2 WarGames matches, the World Championship match, and then 2 matches that people probably aren't going to care about.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100% agree with you. I think we need 6 is a safe spot. I would even say 7 is okay.
I could definitely fit a 7th one in here. I definitely tried to fit as many women as possible in a variety of matches. So it's a 6-match card. My opening match is a 4-way tornado tag team women's championship match.
Okay.
So I tried to tie in storyline with like marquee matchup kind of thing. So Bianca and Jade don't have the titles, but the women in the match are storyline kind of positioned to be in this match. So I got Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson versus Chelsea and Piper Niven versus Asuka and Kyrie. I know Asuka's hurt, but you know, say it's a little bit in the future, maybe like 5 months down the road where Asuka could be back healthy. And then the final team is Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
So that's just a 4-way tornado tag team. I was going to make it an elimination match, but I want to be repetitive. A little spoiler for down the line. I want to be repetitive, so I made it a single fall, whoever gets the pin first match. So after like the fun, crazy, like bunch of spot fest match, you kind of have that second match where is like almost like a in the safety net spot where the match, if it's really good, that's awesome. But if the match doesn't live up to the hype, it's okay because it's in that second spot. We got the United States Championship Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Mia Yim. Match number 3, middle of the cardish, is I'm not sure if I want to sell on a WWE alumni or NXT alumni, but it's a WWE or NXT alumni invitational battle royal. This is where you bring in your Trish Stratus's, your Lita's, your Nikki Bella if if they're on good terms, your Candice Michelle McCool, or even like some NXT alumni, maybe like if Paige was like a free agent, or other women like that. You know what I'm saying? And then you can even bring in just like a monster to destroy all these women, whoever you want to win the battle royal, whether it be it probably wouldn't be Jordan Grace because she's not really NXT alum or WWE alum. She's kind of like current, but you can bring in, I don't know, Beth Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? And put send her to his retirement match. I don't know. Just a nice see all the legends, get the pop, the historic memories and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, match number 4 is where we get cooking, okay? This is where the show picks up. Match number 4 is the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. All right? History shows Intercontinental Championship is a ladder match title, okay? That is your ladder match title. So, we got I slayed her here. We can switch this up, but I slayed her here for now. It's Candice LeRae versus Zelina Vega versus Ivy Nile versus Sonya Deville versus Lyra Valkyria versus Naomi. And a 6-woman Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Number 5, match number 5. The Generational Gap Survivor match.
Okay.
So this right here is kind of like a Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination match. All right. This right here is all about the generations of NXT right here. So we have Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Rodriguez versus Jade Cargill, Roxanne Perez, Kalani Jordan, Stephanie Vakir, and Julia.
Okay.
I know Jade Cargill is not necessarily NXT, but she, but as far as like wrestling and like time in the business,
right,
she fits on that team. And this is kind of where we get the Bianca versus Jade. Like Bianca's heading one team, Jade's heading the other team. You know what I'm saying? And match number 6, the match we have been deprived of as wrestling fans forever. Okay. Triple H, you might guys shell out like $2 million to make this happen. Big payday. Okay. But we're going to open the forbidden door a little bit. This is the Fatal 4 Horsewomen match.
Yes, sir.
Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Bayley versus Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks. We're going to see who the best out of these 4 is. Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT of women's wrestling? That's my 6-match card. What do you think?
All of that's banging. All of that would be a really good PLE.
Are you paying AEW money for that?
No, not.
You're not shelling out $50 for that card.
I'm not shelling out $50 for any pay-per-view ever. Ever.
You've done before for AEW. You've done before.
I don't pay shit. James pays for that shit.
All right, well, James, let me know. Let me know in the Discord. Let me know in Discord. Are you shutting out AEW money for that card?
All right, let's move on. We talk about AEW. They just had a pay-per-view that
Amazing.
See, we're getting previews of what he's thinking here. What's your overall thoughts of Full Gear? And then I'll ask some questions about it.
So this is the second AEW pay-per-view to date that I have bought. I bought, what was it, Wrestle Dream? Or no, what was the Wrestle what was the one I bought? Not the last, it was either the last one or one before. Where Darby faced Brody Lee. If that helps. where Daniel Bryan had that match and he retired.
That was Wrestle Dream, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me look that up real quick.
I believe it's Wrestle Dream, right? Yeah, I think so. Where Bryan Danielson got choked out with a plastic bag by Jon Moxley.
Yeah, that was Wrestle Dream.
All right, yeah. So I bought Wrestle Dream, and then I bought this Full Gear. I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have waited another month to buy a pay-per-view. This one was definitely not worth the $50 that I paid.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestle Dream was more worth it. Also, I bought this in the spur of the moment because I heard because MJF was about to wrestle. All right, I was sitting down at home. I was laying in my bed. There wasn't much on TV. The Celtics weren't playing that night. The Eagles weren't playing. There was nothing on TV. The Charlotte Hornets weren't playing. I was chilling at home with nothing to do, nothing on YouTube on my watch list. And, the boys were talking about Full Gear in the Discord. And then I said, I was like, the card looks okay. But I forgot that this is like a B or a C level pay-per-view that's going to lead into the next one, the bigger one. I forgot that part. But they were like, MJF is on his way to the ring right now. and he's cutting a promo talking shit. I was like, fuck it. I guess I flipped the Thriller on my Roku TV. So I signed in. I clicked on it. It was like, you sure you want to pay $50? I said, yes. It said, are you double sure you want to pay $50 to watch this? I said, fuck it. And I clicked it. So I was watching Full Gear. I missed the first match, the tag team match, but I went back to go watch it the day after with my grandpa. But the first match I saw was MJF versus Roderick Strong. This match was more so to get kind of Roderick over a little bit. I feel like he got most of the offense. This was not one of MJF's best matches by any means. This was like a TV level match for MJF. He did win, which is good because he can't afford to take a loss to Roderick Strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw my boy MJF, future WWE champion. Let's see. Ricochet was cool. See, the problem with AEW matches is I'm sitting there, I'm watching it, but it's always after I have a long day of doing something. Whether it is, just waking up early, having a long day, to the point where I'm watching the match, I'm engaged for the first 7-8 minutes, and then 10 minutes rolls by, and then 15. And I'm like, this match ain't over yet. And I start dozing off a little bit.
Right.
And the next thing I know, I hear ding, 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 and music playing.
Right.
And, I always miss like the last 2 minutes of the match. I always miss the finishes. But, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, match of the night, okay? Match of the night right there. Match of the night. Kyle Fletcher with his new look, I'm not going to lie, homie puts on a little bit more muscle, he looked like a megastar, okay? The ring gear he had on, his new haircut and like tattoo he got, his haircut, he was looking official. You know, I messed with it.
Okay.
Give him like Buddy Murphy or Pac, like muscle definition.
Mm-hmm.
That man's a freaking megastar. Okay, it was like what 3 months ago. I was talking shit about Kyle Fletcher on the show when he was wrestling. Was it like Ospreay? Who's Kyle Fletcher wrestling? He was wrestling for like the world title or
Swerve.
something.
He was fighting Swerve.
He was fighting Swerve for the world title, and I was like, why the fuck is this guy wrestling Swerve for the world title on free TV right after he just won the title?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Kyle Fletcher, I'll say it here first to make me eat my words a little bit. You know, they revamped his they revamped his look, gave him a little like a mean streak. Him and Ospreay put on a really good match. It was like 5 finishes too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that match, I feel like could finish a little earlier as far as the false finishes. But those two men put on a good match.
Right.
Hangman and Jay White. It was good. I enjoyed it in the moment. Looking back at it, not the wildest match, not the most significant match in the world. But Jay White, I'm a fan of Jay White.
Mm-hmm.
He came out on top. He's on a two pay-per-view match win streak. Bobby Lashley and Swerve Strickland didn't think it was anything special. People hyped up a little bit on the internet. I don't think it was that crazy. Bobby hit all the spots that he hits in like WWE. The barricade spot was a little sloppy because of the barricades that they use.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the match was all that hype. I thought the match was kind of bad. And then the last match, not to skip too far forward, but I missed the Mariah May match. No, Mariah May didn't have a match. She had a segment.
No, she had that segment. Yeah,
I was in the bathroom during that.
You ain't missed much.
I heard that her and Mia whatever were in the ring, and Mia didn't like the way Mariah's been acting or something, and then Maria hit her with a bottle of champagne or something. I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, so essentially they were on the stage, like celebrating Mariah May, weeks after she won the title.
Yeah,
they're doing the celebration, and they do their little champagne thing they always do, and then Mina goes around, starts shaking her ass, which it's fine and all, but they then have her turn around, and that's when Mariah turns on her, which it was all right for what it was, but
Jack Perry versus Dale Garcia. If I'm not mistaken, Dale Garcia, he won that match, won the title.
Yep.
Good for him. But Tony, you're like 10 months too late.
Yeah.
You were pushing this guy last December, talking about you're gonna see a lot of Dale Garcia. Dale Garcia is gonna be the man here in AEW, hyping up to the crowd and everything. Dale hasn't done shit all year. Hasn't done jack shit all year.
Yeah.
He finally wins this title against Jack Perry, one of their lower titles. It's not even like one of their main titles. It's probably like their second to bottom title.
Right.
Match was okay. Jack Perry did some heel stuff. Daniel Garcia overcame it.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Right.
Main event time. We got Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Match was better than I thought it was going to be. Outcome was never in doubt.
Right.
Because I was like, Orange Cassidy's not winning this title tonight. There's no way he's winning this title. Especially because, the end-all, be-all, if they're smart, is Darby Allin wins the title, even though he should have already won it, in my opinion. But we get to the main event. Orange Cassidy is, he's bleeding the whole match. I didn't mind the blood because it was actually done in a decent way. It wasn't like a screwdriver to the forehead or like skewers to the head. He stomped his head to the stairs and he was bleeding. I'll take that. That's a fine blood job, whatever. I'll take that. That's not crazy. He bled a lot though. His blood was all over that mat.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy put on a good match for what it was. He didn't do too much of his goofy, nonchalant stuff. There was one spot he did just to get under John's skin, but it was like he wrestled the whole match with his hands in his pocket.
Right.
I like that he wrestled his match more seriously.
Right. and I've said this before, when Orange Cassidy is serious and he's not that stupid gimmick, he's one of the best on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
That wasn't too much left. I still don't see the hype in the girl that he runs around with. I don't see the hype in her.
Marina?
I don't think she's that intimidating. Like, she's not overly jacked or big like a Rhea or a Jade Cargill. Like, she's just like a girl who used to do MMA. Like, I don't think she's that overly intimidating as far as a character on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with I don't see the hype in Camille either. I know she's a former NWA world champion, but like, she's just like Monet's bodyguard. I never heard her talk yet. Me personally, I don't watch weekly TV, but
right. So with Camille, and I'll mention this. We have a question about Mercedes, or we'll talk about her in a minute. Which is crazy that you mentioned Mercedes and it's not her match, because that match was completely forgettable.
Oh yeah, I forgot
her match against Statlander, which is a shame because Chris Statlander, I think, is my favorite person on the roster. Like, if I had to look at that roster just off of memory, Statlander would probably be one of the few on there that I'd be like, yeah, I'll watch for her. 100% agree with a lot of what you said. I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% paying attention to this. I was playing NCAA football while I was watching. James had bought it, and I was just sitting there watching on his TV playing my PlayStation. So anytime the announcer sort of like, started hyping things up, I would pause the game and look over at it and pay more attention. But for the most part, I didn't hate it. I thought it was decent for what it was. You said it when you began. This completely was to get you to World's End in December. I also think it was. I noticed some things about it, and so one of the things that I noticed, and I saw someone else. I forgot. I saw a tweet on X somewhere. I forget. Someone else noticed this as well. AEW has a problem where they don't have any like superhero baby faces. And so you're being thrown John Moxley's group, you're being thrown the Young Bucks and Jack Perry, and you don't have any super believable like baby faces who can come and save the company. That's what they're trying to make Orange Cassidy and Darby, but it's not super believable. Because Darby's sort of that tweener type, I'm just going to do whatever I want to do type character. And they don't have a Cody Rhodes that can just be there. MJF is a heel. Kyle Fletcher is a heel. Like, their major characters are all, Christian Cage, all heels. They don't have that big baby face, which I think is the opposite problem WWE has. Where WWE, they have the new bloodline, but they have a baby face that sort of tames them out. Whereas Cody Rhodes doesn't have that strong. I mean, he does now with Kevin Owens, but it's Kevin Owens. There's no one else behind Kevin Owens, though, who can be that next villain for Cody Rhodes to get by. So I did notice that. And then we got to talk about the ending, because I don't know if I'm the only one who thought that it was a complete clusterfuck to end the show. You have Moxley win. You then have Hangman Page, which I'm just going to be out here. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to co-sign Jim Cornette. Hangman Page is complete dog shit. Boring as fuck. I don't understand what his character is. I don't know what he's doing. He struts out to the ring, like stares down Moxley. And I know apparently he said things like he wants to fight for the title. That's cool. But if we're just going to let anyone in the ring who wants to fight, who wants to be champion, everyone should be in the ring. Makes no sense why he's part of this segment.
I don't like his new baggy-ish pants.
No, I don't.
I like the tighter pants better.
I'm not a fan of Hangman Page. I've never been a fan of Hangman, even when I was back in 2019 when they started, and I was a little bit more in favor of AEW. I know that's hard to believe that I used to actually like the product, but I think a lot of people liked AEW in 2019 because we were coming off of the shittiest period in WWE booking history. And so I've never been a fan of Hangman. I've never understood sort of why people like him. He feels like that dude that gets super hype and gets carried because he was part of the elite when they started, and he was being carried by Omega and the Young Bucks, and because of that, he got TV time. And so I don't know. I'm just never been a fan of that. Another thing I noticed is, I know you're a big MJF fan. I know Nerdy D is a big MJF fan. I've cooled down on MJF. Back in January, I was probably, I was one of the bigger supporters of wanting him in WWE. I don't think he'll fit. His gimmick is completely washed to me now. It's the same thing it was 5 years ago. And I don't know how much more cheap heat he can get before I stop caring about it. Very good wrestler. I think a lot of this is when you build his momentum as a heel and then you turn him face with Adam Cole, and then you just sort of swap roles because Adam Cole gets hurt. It's hard to get that momentum back up. They've done a poor job of making him a heel again. And I don't know what's going on with him and Adam Cole. Maybe if I watched the product on a weekly basis, I would like MJF more. I just feel like he's just sitting there not doing anything.
I think currently MJF is like in a coasting state where he is coasting.
Right.
I feel like when you put him in a program where he can really sink his teeth into it, get behind it, whether it was the CM Punk program or the meat and potatoes of the Adam Cole program. Like when you get stuff to like really work with, even when he was with Warlow, he can do some really good stuff. But when you put him in like these mid to lower card feuds, he was match number 2 on the pay-per-view,
right?
And when you put this guy who's a solid AEW main eventer, who's like one of the 4 faces of your company, you're putting him in the second match on pay-per-view. Right. I feel like he's just gonna coast in that. He's gonna settle on the cheap heat. I feel like when he's in the actual program, he could be creative. He has some of the best facial expressions.
Yeah, I feel
he could talk with anyone, wrestle with anyone.
I feel that
he's got to give him that good stuff.
And then the last thing I noticed about about the pay-per-view itself, I don't think you watched the pre-show. I unfortunately had to, and they had the Costco guys in this match.
I saw a very quick TikTok of highlights of his moveset. I forgot that you guys said that he was a former wrestler back in the day or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he was good.
He moved a little. He moved solid.
He was good. The problem that I have with this is AEW fans use this as, WWE fans don't actually care if we, deal to the casual fans, because we did, and they're still shitting on it. And that's a bad talking point, because no one's shitting on the fact that you're reaching the casual fans. We're shitting on how you're doing it. You're using some like D-level celebrity that's famous on TikTok that, let's just be honest, should not be anywhere near a top tier entertainment brand whatsoever. Like these motherfuckers.
They also didn't fully commit. We're putting our celebrities in the main events of PLEs.
Right.
He got the 0 hour match.
Right. And so for me, it's like, okay, it would be one thing if you went out and grabbed, some guy that's, even TikTok is fine, but you got like the most annoying motherfucker on TikTok, and you brought him along, and you brought his son. His son's cool. His friend, the Rizzler. I get it. It's all fun. It's fun. I get it, but to me, it was a little corny. You put him on the pre-show. I had to explain this to James. He was like, "Well, this is to get people to buy the show," and I looked at him. I said, "The pre-show's free. So if AJ Boom, whatever his name is, if his millions of followers tuned in to watch him wrestle, and you gave it to them for free, and that's all they cared about, why the fuck would they buy the pay-per-view?" Like, and so to me, if you wanted to make money off of this, you would put him on the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And so I don't think my critique is more of the execution, not the fact. Good job, Tony. You're listening. Just in the last 2 weeks, you've announced you're doing smaller theaters and arenas. Congratulations. That's what casual fans said you should be doing. You know, WavyD sat here all year and said they need to run more intimate settings. You know, we said you got to reach the casual fans. They're trying to do it. I think Tony Khan finally understands that booking to a small niche isn't going to build the product, and I'm willing to bet Warner put some pressure on him to get the numbers up. And so no one's hating on that. The problem is that may have been one of the best matches on the card, to be honest with you. I just, you know, Fletcher and Ospreay, without a doubt, but everyone knew that was going to be match of the night. Everyone already knew it. The only thing I had a problem with that match was the pile driver. They use it so often that it becomes a joke.
Well, and then they did it off the apron onto the step.
Onto the stairs, which is fine. But when you look across companies and you notice that same move is being used to build a story, and maybe one of the best promos I've ever heard Cody Rhodes give against Kevin Owens on Friday. You know, I think Kevin Owens cooked, but Cody Rhodes came out and he cooked right back. And Cody Rhodes may have won that promo battle.
At least 4 of the matches on the main card had a pile driver in it.
Right. And so when you repeatedly do that, that match doesn't mean that move doesn't mean as much. Whereas if you look across the aisle to WWE, it happened and Kevin Owens gets suspended and we build a story, and now we may have one of the, you know, it's going to be the main event of probably Saturday Night Main Event. I know that's where it's going to be, and it's probably going to be the main event. All because a banned move got used. And so, yeah, I didn't hate the show. I thought it was pretty mid. My last question that I had in concern of AEW is the question, has AEW shown us in the way they use some of their wrestlers, and I'll name some to give example, that WWE did a very good job at hiding some of these ex-superstars' flaws. Think of Mercedes Moné, think of Ricochet, think of Claudio. There were certain issues that I'm seeing on AEW TV because they got free reign to do whatever they want, that WWE did a very good job of covering up. I think of Ricochet and his lack of ability of being on the mic, and WWE never gave him the mic for that reason. Mercedes is not the best promo to me. I also think her in-ring wrestling is not good, or is not the best. You know, we got these people who love Mercedes that think she's the greatest of the 4 horsewomen. Far from it. Do you agree with me that WWE did a good job at hiding their flaws? And
yeah. You never saw a live mic in Ricochet's hand. You never saw a live mic in Claudio's hand. Their talking time was very limited, mostly backstage segments where it can be controlled.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Bobby Lashley pretty soon we'll see some stuff that will you know, shine a light. Even though I think we all know it's kind of wrong with Bobby, you know, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing his downsides.
Right.
Have a light shine down them.
Yeah, absolutely. As much as people like to complain about, WWE held Ricochet back, well, Ricochet's just not good at certain aspects that you need to get over with in WWE. So that's my last little concern. So the next thing I want to talk about.
Well, I want to touch a couple things AEW. Okay. Their main event, the post thing happened.
True.
The very end of the show. So I get it story wise, everything that was going on. I just thought the pacing was really
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
The camera work was really off.
Christian did
People's
not sell that.
cues.
He did not. Christian did not sell Jay White's finisher at all.
Nope.
And then if the argument is like, so for me, if I'm looking at this and I say, okay, AEW just laid out their next year of programming. We're going to get Jay White. We're going to get Christian. We're going to get Hangman. And it's ultimately, James is correct. In a year's time, Darby Allin's going to win the world title from Jon Moxley. That's the ultimate goal. I get that. 100% understand that. But why give me all of that at one time? When you could have paced it and said, okay, like the way I envisioned it was have Moxley, don't even have Hangman come out because that was completely worthless. But have Christian come out, tease the briefcase. I guess with whatever his little contract he has to sign it in the ring for it to be official.
Yeah.
Do exactly what you did. Have Jay White come out and stop it from happening because you cost him that briefcase.
It all moves very slow.
Yeah. And then when that happens and Jay White hits the finisher, show the camera, have Christian sell it. The next camera shot is Moxley being pulled out of the ring, running backstage, and then have the Darby spot. And that's fine. You don't have the clusterfuck. The pacing was very weird. I don't understand why you blew the load and gave me the next 5 stories all at one time. When you could have slowly built it over time. I
also hate AEW's commentary. I hate their commentary. Bro, I said in the Discord, everything's very like monotone and nonchalant. They don't emphasize enough. And if like speaking louder isn't emphasizing. Like they're not putting emotion behind like with the action in the ring. It's like, oh my god, he just busted him wide open. Like sell me something like give me like some Michael Cole, some Corey Graves, give me some Joey Styles. Like, oh my god, give me some Mike Tenay, Don West.
Or even if like Booker T is not the greatest on commentary, but I like Booker T because he has catchphrases.
Yes.
And so when something big happens, he just throws out his catchphrases.
Yeah.
And it
emotion.
Right. With emotion. And it means like JR, whenever something big happened and some dude got thrown off a damn table or whatever, by God, stop the damn match. Right. You knew exactly what the commentary was going to be, but it sold the match. Their commentary team's god awful.
Yeah, this is their storytelling of what's going on. I know that they're calling a wrestling match, but not, you have a play-by-play guy and you have a color commentary guy. The color commentary guy is supposed to give you like a little bit of story, a little bit of background stuff.
Their entire job is to sell the watcher on what's going on. Because the whole idea of wrestling commentary is you're telling the story for me. And so, because we all sort of know that it's fake and they're not actually beating each other up, so you have to give me the narrative, which is why, so I used to watch all the WWE pay-per-views and everything with Cody and James, and we had a group of friends that used to watch them, but they would just scream and yell over the TV the entire night, which is fine, have fun, that's great. But if I can't hear commentary, I don't want to watch with you, because commentary tells me the narrative, tells me why I should care. I'm one of the few that I think actually cares about commentary and actually wants to listen to it.
Yeah.
And so I don't think a lot of AEW fans care enough about the commentary part of it. So that's why they don't complain about it.
Yeah. Also, after that $50, watching all of AEW feels like a chore sometimes. Yeah. Like WWE, I pay like the $5 or the $6 a month, whatever it is now. I forget. But, I'm always like, hey, I can easily just catch it later today. I can easily catch it tomorrow. Like, it's I don't feel like the chore of having to finish a PLE in one sitting if I don't want to. Like what's it called? The Saudi show that happened last month. It happened in the middle of the afternoon. I sat down. My boys were at the casino. We partied the night before. We were chilling in the room, watching the PLE, eating some lunch or whatever. I watched the first match or two. I got a little tired. I kept the PLE on for everybody else. I went upstairs to, and I just, listened to it, but I dozed off, fell asleep while listening to it. I went back and watched it later that night.
Mm.
It didn't feel like a chore that, like, okay,
Right.
pay $50. I have to sit here and watch everything so I get my money's worth.
Right. All right, so we'll move on now. ESPN. I guess they do this yearly. I don't ever remember them doing this before, but they drop their top 30. They have a thing with ESPN where they love the number 30 for
Yeah,
whatever.
they usually do. I know they do it for a lot of other sports. I never see it really for wrestling either.
Right.
At least not that I can
And
recall.
so they dropped their top 30 under the age of 30 pro wrestlers. So I'm going to go down the list, and just in case no one's ever seen this. I know you've seen it. It's also in the casual Discord, James posted
Yeah,
it.
I pulled it back up.
So we'll just start at 1. It's Dominic, then it's MJF, Tony Storm, Rhea, Mariah May, Takashita, Jack Perry, Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia. I'm probably going to fuck this name up. I think it's Shota Umino, Braun Breaker. I don't even know who this next dude is. Kiyomiya, Vikino, Statlander, Austin Theory, Jordan Grace, Hook, Tiffany Stratton, Mascara Dorada, Roxanne Perez, Wheeler, Yuta, Logan Paul, Yuma Aoyagi. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Gabe Kidd. I'm not even going to try this next. Hasha Yashida, Julia Hart, Jamie Hayter, Sean Skywalker, Dragon Lee, and Yuma Anzai. So my question is, do you like the list? And what would be some of your changes?
So overall, as far as all the names on the list, I don't mind the list.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some names that are missing, but I don't know who the author is of the article, or like who put it together, who put the list together.
Right.
But they do seem like they lean heavy on the AEW indie scene, New Japan scene, because they're missing some good names. Like I would put Sol Ruka on this list.
Yep.
I would put Obafemi on this list. Possibly Kalani Jordan.
Yep.
Probably sneak onto the list.
Yep.
I'm assuming Julia and Stephanie are kind of seasoned. They're probably older than 30. I'm assuming, because they spent a lot of years over different countries. I'm assuming the two of them are older. Is Jordan? Oh, Jordan Grace is up here.
So Julia is 30.
Okay.
And then Stephanie Fakir. The thing with a lot of the Latino wrestlers is we don't really know a lot about them. Okay, so yeah, she's 31.
Okay. How old is Austin? No, I mean not Austin. Grayson Waller.
Oh, he's in his 30s.
He's on the older side. Okay.
Yeah, he is. Oh yeah, he's like 34.
Another guy who I think is missing from this list, who he use consideration, is homie's name from NXT. He's bouncy. Javon Evans.
Javon Evans.
I feel like Javon Evans. He might be a little green as far as technical wrestling, but he, so he does all the flippy shit like everybody else does.
So
that's kind of who I'm missing. I assume Gunther is well over 30.
Yeah,
he's been around for a long time.
So there's two.
I think it's the women. Maybe I think I'm missing maybe a woman or two.
You're missing two people for me. First one's Tony D'Angelo. Bro can tell us. He's like 25. Bro can tell a story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's younger. He was born in 95, I think. So not 25. He's 29. And the other one is Thea Hale. I think Thea Hale should be on this list. And she's like 20. So maybe Cora Jade as well. So my question that I have is, when they made this, did they make this in the way that PWI makes their list, where it's sort of like whoever gets pushed the most during that year, they get ranked higher. They try to keep like kayfabe list. And if that's the case, then sure, this list is fine. I do have an issue though with Braun Breaker, like some of the rankings. Like Braun Breaker's not 11.
He's definitely a lot higher.
Tiffany Stratton's definitely better than the 10 of the people in front of her.
Roxanne Perez is top 10.
Yeah, Roxanne's top 10.
I mean, from a skill level, Dragon Lee, it should be higher. I know he's not like pushed the best, but just like skill of a wrestler.
That's crazy that he's 29 because they're pushing him like he's like the future of lucha wrestling, and the dude's almost 30. Like
he's the prime of lucha wrestling.
Right. I'm not against the list. I'm fine with it. I know it's gonna sound like we're like anti-Japan, but I don't know half of this fucking list.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I don't know you, you automatically sort of, okay, well, why are you on this list? Especially when it's a production like ESPN producing it.
Yeah.
Like if Dave Meltzer wrote this list, I would have been like, oh, well, that's Dave. It makes sense.
That's why I'm like, who are the authors that put this list together? Because ESPN is buddy with WWE. So that's why I'm like, which guy working from home, which intern working from home kind of put this list together.
Right.
Like Hook isn't the greatest wrestler. He has a name, but he's not the greatest wrestler.
Right. Last question I have on this list. Do you have a problem with Logan Paul being on this list?
No. Because he talent-wise, he's up here with a lot of these guys. Like, talent-wise, he's better than Hook. Talent-wise, you might not like it, but talent-wise, he's better than Tiffany Stratton.
Absolutely.
Like Tiffany, she does gymnastics and she's strong and whatever. Right. But as far as like, I would trust Logan in the WrestleMania main event before I would trust Tiffany Stratton in the main
event.
Logan
has the in-ring that the AEW fans look like, but he can also get on the mic and sell me on why I need to watch him.
Yeah.
100% are fine. I would even have him higher than 22. I would have him top 10.
I feel like just Logan's 29. I thought he would be over 30. I thought he would be 30 or over already.
Yeah,
he's like on the cusp.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other young wrestlers. I just can't really think of, because everyone who I perceive as young is just because they're new to WWE, but they've been like in the wrestling business for years. I don't know. I'm surprised they put Nick Wayne in this list.
Nick Wayne. I mean, Indy's under 30. Indy Hartwell. I don't know if she makes a list, but yeah, the one name you mentioned that I 100% agree with, that I would be like, I'm a little bit offended myself that he's not on it, is Obafemi. I don't know what more he's got to do to make this list, but bro's the best thing in NXT. Like, from a talent perspective, could be on the main roster 6 months ago. Bro came in, did the little breakout tournament last year, I forgot how long it was. And from the first time he stepped in the ring, screamed superstar. I don't know what more this guy has to do. But with that, let the War Games begin as we...
Well, so two names that I had to just look up real fast, but they're both 30 years old. They both just missed the list. Was Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams.
Yeah, so those were two that I looked up as well. They just missed the list.
I was about to say.
Let the War Games begin. So we'll start with the two matches they made yesterday in our predictions here. The IC Championship match, triple threat, between Bron Breakker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. Who do you got winning this?
Are there any other championship matches on this card?
Yeah, LA Knight and Shinsuke, and then Gunther and Priest.
Oh yeah. Crap. Give me. Oh crap! I want to say give me Sheamus. because like Braun just got the title back, but him beating Kaiser protects Braun, and it finally gets I think Sheamus out of the picture because he won his title and gave out the picture, and then we don't have to build towards him at Mania. Kind of
Right.
looking for a way out of here. Well, yeah, I'll be safe and say Braun Breaker.
Okay.
But the
So-
reason I want to do is because I feel like the other titles are not going to change hands. I mean, I know I'm
So,
spoil them, but
I think one does. I think two titles change hands. I think this one does. I'm going Sheamus for a reason. And the reason is I believe we'll just go ahead and jump to it, and we'll the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm having Priest win that match. And so Priest is babyface. So Braun Breaker being the heel, I think would be the next competitor. Because I've always believed that the whole idea for the Netflix was to get Braun Breaker the title real early in the Netflix run on Raw. He's going to be a main focus. And so he's going to be, out of this picture. I think giving it to Sheamus gives him the title he's been missing. I think you can have Kaiser and Sheamus fight for it. Gunther and Kaiser, I think, are going to break up here soon. There's a lot of tension in that group. Mm-hmm. And so I think we can have a picture where Kaiser fights Sheamus for the title and Gunther keeps Kaiser from winning it. And maybe that can be the Mania match, Sheamus versus Kaiser, where Kaiser sort of gets over everything. And the lead up to that could be Kaiser getting through Gunther and then getting through Sheamus. Something like that.
I think Braun Breaker. I'll switch. You got messed with it. I think Sheamus wins the title.
Okay.
But I think Gunther retains.
You think Gunther retains? So I also think Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble. So he could be IC champion and still win the Rumble, but
historically they don't really do that.
Right. So I think, unless he loses it, at Saturday Night Main Event, then, but I don't see them, having 8 matches on that card. It's going to be like a 2-hour show on NBC. So it's not like a PLE where they just have all the time that they could have in the world. It's going to be on actual TV.
But then it's like, do you look at Braun as the guy who can't hold on to a title for more than a few weeks, kind of thing?
Does that really hurt him though? Like, in a way, like if John Jones got in the ring and lost his title in 2 months when he fights again, are we going to look at?
I think it doesn't hurt if Sheamus beats Kaiser. It doesn't hurt as much.
Right.
So yeah, I'll say Sheamus wins. I say and Gunther retains.
Okay.
But I think Gunther has to resort to like
do you think
blows.
Do you think it's like a rematch?
Yeah, I definitely think Gunther has to resort to like low blows, and like actually have to like cheat to win. I can see that. Gunther doesn't really cheat to win. He just outlasts his opponent, and
especially with the story they've been telling over the last major 2 defenses or 2 matches he had, SummerSlam and then the one against Cody, was he's not the best in the ring like he thinks he is. And he only won because of, or he won the title because of outside interference. And then he lost against Cody because he didn't have anyone to help him. And he got outmatched. And so I think that's the story they're telling. Part of me feels like Triple H sees this experiment as failed, and he's going back to what's safe, and that's Damian Priest. Let's see. So we'll move back to mid-card real quick. United States title, LA Knight versus Nakamura. There's no chance in hell Nakamura wins this match. Yeah,
especially because like half of his comeback and build has been done over taped episodes.
Right. It was, first off, it was weird that they didn't wait till Friday to announce this, which I'm glad, so we can actually predict the full card. But having a random, we got breaking news, of this match that's not even part of Raw, or this title that's not even part of Raw. We're going to announce the title match. But yeah.
Shinsuke is in a match this Friday.
Yep.
Was it Santos he's facing? I think it was.
I don't fucking know.
I think it was Santos, but reportedly Shinsuke has the same music. So that's why I was like, okay, we're not fully committing to this change Shinsuke. So I was like, I don't know, especially with his build being done on pre-tape shows, and it's only like a 2-week build. I mean, the fans still love LA Knight.
Yeah,
like he's still one of the loudest pops of the night wherever he goes.
Right. So now that those are out of the way, let's let WarGames begin. Let's talk about the women first. We got Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, an unknown but actually really known, if you know the spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen Friday.
And also, they kind of alluded to it on Monday.
They did it. Yeah, well, fuck it. Spoiler warning, if you don't want it, skip about 5 seconds. It's Bayley. But I think anyone who watched last Friday could have seen that Bayley was, when Jade got pushed into the car, we kind of expected Bayley would take her spot. So
if you watch Monday Night Raw, Bayley helped Bianca get the win.
So it's not that big of a spoiler. So Rhea, Bianca, Bayley, Naomi, and Io versus Liv Morgan, Raquel, Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, who's winning. So with this, let me make sure I understand WarGames right. So once everyone gets in the ring, it's the first pin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what team wins and who gets the pin?
And just so you and the viewers know, Bianca won the advantage match.
Right.
So the faces get the 2v1 advantage.
Right.
So it's going to start off 1v1. The faces get the 2v1. Yeah.
2v2, then 3. Yeah. Yep.
So the last person enters their match is from the heel team.
Right.
Who do you think is the last person entered match? Nia?
The last one to enter will probably be Nia. Yeah. She'll probably be like, you guys go first. And then I'm the queen. Good, right.
The thing is, I see the face team having a hard time getting along than the heel team. Like, I don't think the heel team just kind of like just don't like the faces, but the faces, like, half of them don't like each other.
Right. There's a lot of tension there already in this team.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to predict who wins. It's usually kind of the team who doesn't have the advantage wins the match. Is kind of how I think they go. I mean, I'll just go off top of the dome. Oh, stop! My cat is scratching me. Give me F it. Give me the faces. Give me the faces.
Who do you think makes the pin?
I think Tiffany Stratton takes the pin.
Okay.
And that on Friday, so that's gonna cause Nia to like really belittle her.
Right.
And I think Bayley gets the pin on Tiffany.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Bayley pinning Tiffany for the win.
I'm gonna go the opposite direction you went. I think the heels win. And this is gonna sound crazy. Candice LeRae gets the pin.
Okay.
I think we get the surprise finish of Candice. I think there's gonna be tension though. I think Nia, like, instead of having Tiffy in the match, chooses Candice to get the pin. Right. And I think we get some drama on the face team who takes the pin. I don't really care. I don't think it matters.
It'll be our tiebreaker.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Rhea's not going to eat it. Bayley's not going to eat it. Beyond, I'm like an Io Sky.
Io Sky gets pinned by Candice LeRae.
Right. And I'm probably 100% off on that, but that's fine. That's my prediction. I think we get a tease moment where after the match, Liv Morgan sort of like knocked down in the ring, and the briefcase shows up, and she teases cashing in on Liv. I don't think the cash in actually happens, because I've said on previous episodes that Tiffany Stratton's from Milwaukee. Don't know where I got that from because that's 100% wrong. I don't know where I got that from. She's from Minnesota, and they're in Minneapolis the Friday after WarGames. So I think 100% the cash-in's happening. And I could be wrong, but that's actually her hometown show. Don't know where I got Milwaukee from. I don't actually know where I got it from. Could have sworn that's what I read on Wikipedia, but it's Minnesota, apparently. But yeah, so let's move to what I'm assuming is going to be the main event. Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami, Zayn, and the newly found fifth member of CM Punk versus the new Bloodline solo, Jacob, the Tongans, and Bronson and Rhea. Same thing, winner and who is pinned and gets the pin.
So, quick spoiler. Jump ahead, I don't know, 20 seconds if you don't want to hear the spoiler. I'm about to say it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, if you know the spoilers, Bloodline 2.0 got the
I was about to ask.
They got the advantage.
There you go.
Because I'm pretty sure Jacob pinned Jay or whatever on Friday Night SmackDown coming up, or Jimmy, who was it? He pinned one of them. So, actually, shoot. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
I'll just say yes or no after I confirm. But either way, I do think Bloodline 2.0 walks out of WarGames with the W.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Yes, I was correct, by the way.
Okay.
Yes. So I think Bloodline 2.0 gets the W. And I've been a little bit influenced by Busted Open podcasts, the Busted Open show, because they put the storyline in my head, and now I'm not quite sure what to think. So, you notice how Paul Heyman brought out CM Punk, right?
Right.
But Roman's the captain.
Right.
Roman didn't pick CM Punk.
Right.
And they said, what if like Roman, man to man, approached Seth Rollins on the side, had a talk with him, and bring Seth Rollins in on the team? You know what I'm saying? And now we don't know who's coming out as the fifth man. Or here's another thing. Say CM Punk's music hits, he's attacked by Seth Rollins. So CM Punk gets attacked by Seth Rollins. CM Punk never makes it to the match. And the original Bloodline gets outmatched by Bloodline 2.0. Bloodline 2.0 get the win, beat down on them. They win the match. Because, CM Punk's getting a little bit older. We also have to start building towards that CM Punk and Seth Rollins Mania match. Right. I think Punk only gets in the ring maybe one time before WrestleMania, if that.
It's also crazy that Punk's last match was the cage match, and they immediately throw him in another cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually haven't heard of them in their story, but I agree with it. I think it'd be interesting.
They uploaded it today. It's a new.
It's a new one. Okay.
But yeah, there's possibility CM Punk gets attacked, doesn't make it into the match by Seth Rollins. Especially because Seth Rollins, if you want to go with the storyline of hates Roman, hates everything Roman stands for, hates everything else CM Punk stands for. He doesn't want to see his two sides, his two enemies unite or to fight
Right.
with each other. But any way you slice it, I think Bloodline 2.0 gets the win. Whether CM Punk makes it to the match or not, Seth Rollins is in the match or not, I think Bloodline 2.0. Because if the original Bloodline get the win, where do you go from there?
Right.
Where do you go from there? You have no story after that. They overcame the Bloodline 2.0.
Right. So, okay. So let's have you finish. Who gets the pin and who do they pin?
I think Roman gets the pin. I think Roman gets pinned.
You think Roman gets pinned? Okay.
I think Roman gets pinned by Solo again. I know Solo pinned him in their tag match. It was at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
I think he pins him again. There's a chance Jacob could do it, but I think Solo gets the pin on Roman. And I think that's what happens. And that builds towards, the Roman versus Solo at not Mania, Roman versus Solo at whether it be Rumble, Chamber. Because I think ultimately we still get Roman versus Rock at Mania.
Right. And so
but it's like where do you get Roman versus Solo first?
Right. So the question is, we know what the ending story is. Roman versus Rock. The question is when do you begin prepping for that? Because that's still 6 months away. December, January, February, March, April. Okay, we have about 5 months away now. You don't want to do it too early because there's no need for a 5-month build Roman Rock. But I think I'm all for a 5-month build. There's no need for it, but I would love it. I think The Rock does play a role in this match on Saturday, though. I think all 5 get in. Some tomfoolery is going to happen with the faces. Roman doesn't like Punk, it appears. Doesn't trust him. I do think Roman gets the pin, and I think it's going to be Jacob who gets it. But I think what happens is the faces get the comeuppance. They're, taking hold of the match. They got, it looks like they're about to finish it, and then The Rock's music plays. It distracts them just enough for everyone but Roman to get beat down, and then Jacob beats down Roman. Solo joins in and beats him down, and Roman takes the pin. I think what that could do is at Saturday night main event, that could lead to Roman versus Jacob or Roman versus Solo, either one, and then Royal Rumble's the other one. And then after Royal Rumble's match is when The Rock comes in and in person. So we just get the music on Saturday that distracts him. But then we at Rumble is when we get Rock actually in person confronting Roman. And then we move on through, I'm assuming it's Elimination Chamber before Mania. Mm-hmm. And then nothing really happens then. And then you get the Mania match. That's my prediction, but I've always learned that me predicting the Bloodline never works out because they go the complete opposite direction.
I do. Go ahead.
I do think the new Bloodline does pick up the win, though. I think that you said it perfectly. If Roman's team wins, what's the story to get to Mania? Because they already got over the heels.
I think if Rock does get involved this weekend, I think it happens more of the Bloodline 2.0. They get the win, They're victorious.
Right.
And then they're doing a beatdown on the baby faces after
And then Rock shows up.
A post-match beatdown.
I like that. I like that idea.
And then to get into the ring to separate it, all the officials are coming out. They have to raise the cage.
Right.
The cage gets raised or whatever. And then as they're trying to, get them off of them, I think the Rock's music hits.
Okay.
We initially think the Rock is coming out for backup. And then he's in the ring. He's staring. And then him and Solo have a handshake over Roman's laid out body.
Is this where we get the "I did it for the Rock" moment?
It's possible. I think that's where we get we see where Rock finally aligns.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I like that better than what I just came up with.
We still gotta get where Paul aligned. Where's Paul Heyman aligned?
Right.
Because Paul Heyman, or is he with Roman?
Shit, is he with Solo? Motherfucker wearing his outfit.
Yeah, he's just like Solo for Halloween.
So we'll move the questions from our Discord. If you want to ask your questions, you got to join the Discord. Go to the appropriate chat. Ask the questions. We'll answer them every Tuesday. B Master asks, between Jackie Redmond or Kathy Kelly, who would you pick to be your arm candy for the Hall of Fame?
It's not even a question, bro.
Right.
I'm taking Kathy Kelly. It's not even a question.
Facts. Look, I like Jackie. She's cool. But Kathy Kelly's like out of her league. Just drop dead. Like, there's a reason that she's on Baddie of the Week every week. Like, there's no question about it. And this dude, B-Master, look, you're cool. I appreciate you listening, but you said something along the lines of it's like the eyes or something. I don't give two fucks about Jackie Redmond's eyes or any of that. Kathy Kelly got a lot better things than eyes. I don't think there's no question with this one.
He had a second question too. He asked it a little bit late last week. He was, I know it's late,
there it is.
But maybe you can answer this on Friday. But who is your top 5 heels?
I don't even fucking know. If we're doing all time,
we might have actually answered this.
I think I was gonna say I think we did that last week.
Yeah, because I think I said like JBL.
Yeah. I think we answered this last week.
I did. Yeah, I think I was like JBL. Oh, people I just hate seeing on my screen, like Edge and Randy.
Yeah. So the next one, we got to ban Kara from answering because she do some crazy ass trades.
No facts.
But James asks, if WWE and AEW can make a trade for any active wrestler on their rosters, what trade would you propose they make?
So, assuming we want to keep it fair, because I could just say MJF for Akira Tozawa and call it a day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Assuming we're going to keep it fair. I will trade you Ashanti the Adonis and Javon Evans.
Okay.
For I don't know, private party. Or Ashanti the Adonis and Javon Evans for the Scissor Me Gang, the Acclaimed.
Okay. I can see that. So I mentioned on Saturday in our Discord that Chris Statlander speaks as a superstar to me.
She looked less muscular at Full Gear. She looked less muscular.
Yeah.
She's been less in the gym.
Well, imagine Tony Khan actually building a
performance
place where,
center.
Right. Just I'm on that. I'll always be on that until he actually does it. Because imagine a place where, like, imagine being an AEW wrestler, signing a contract and being like, hey, I know you've never wrestled this guy before, but you got a match on Wednesday. And Imagine having a performance center saying, "Hey, it's Monday. Let's get in the gym. Let's run through our match, so that we don't look like complete idiots on Wednesday." But apparently, that's too much, and we're crazy for thinking they should have a performance center. But in my trade would be Chris Statlander for all of PFC and Damage Control outside of Dakota Kai. Just get rid of all of them.
That's crazy.
So EO, Kairi Sane, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville for Chris Statlander.
All right, give me MJF, Adam Cole,
Okay.
Kyle O'Reilly, Eric Strong. What's his name? Right, Eric Strong. What's his name?
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong.
So you just want fucking Undisputed Era back.
And Bobby Fish.
Okay.
You know he's with. Is he technically signed with TNA? Technically, where is he at now?
I don't fucking know.
Or somewhere. Throw Bobby Fish in there, and give me Cheeseburger, and I'll give you You can have Otis, Maxine,
That's
Akira Tozawa, all of the Wyatt Six. You can have all of the Final Testament minus the Miz, and
shit.
And you can have Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci, and Gunther.
Damn, this dude just traded the whole fucking roster.
Oh, and yeah, so yeah, get all that for MJF, Undisputed Era, Cheeseburger, and throw in Willow Nightingale, and we'll call it a deal.
Okay,
that's a good trade right there. That's a good trade.
That's crazy.
Yo, put Undisputed. Yo, okay. I had this question for you. Here's a question from the Discord. I have a question for you because it stemmed from earlier when we were talking about Full Gear and the faces that AEW lacks. So I know when they were in NXT, they were like cool heels. You know the Undisputed Era. They were cool heels.
Right.
Do you think that AEW could do a face version of Undisputed Era? You kind of have them be the face faction to rival some of these heel factions and be successful at it?
I like the idea. Do I think Tony Khan can pull off the booking? No. If it was, Adam Cole got creative control of the group and worked to build a story, I think it would work. I just don't trust Tony Khan's booking. I think he wants to go this way where, so James mentioned this, where he was like, if you guys recognize that this is just Sting and the NWO from the 90s, from WCW. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, first off, I didn't watch WCW, so I would have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I wasn't born.
But second,
I was like,
but second, can Tony Khan stop trying to copy everything that's happened in the business and be creative for once? That's not a good reasoning for what your storyline is. He's copy pasting everything. And also for a group of people that love to shit on me for liking Vince Russo, the AEW feels a lot like Vince Russo, throwing shit at the wall type booking, end of WCW, beginning of TNA type booking, where he was just coming up with stupid shit.
You know, I noticed lately across the board in all of wrestling, especially WWE and AEW, they lack good props.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the days where the heels in the ring got his little show going? Like Carlitos Cabana or something, or the wrestler has a draped something draped over with a curtain or something.
Right.
It's like a plot device.
So,
to get the face mad.
So I agree with you.
Lacking props.
I agree with you because what I think the issue is WWE or NAW, just wrestling in general, they no longer want to be entertainment. They just want to be wrestling. That's what the fans want. And so Triple H is more of that, let's give the fans what they want type thing. But imagine having a Bloodline tribal court every single week. or something like that to build the story. And it's off-site on the island somewhere or in Solo's little secret little hideaway. And or having, the KO show where he talks about the crimes of Cody Rhodes and why Cody Rhodes is actually the bad guy, or something like that. I agree with you. We need more. There's a reason everyone liked Al Snow. It wasn't because he was good. He had the mannequin. And so, yeah, 100% agree with you on that. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this thing up with our third round matchups of Thirsty Tuesday. I'm gonna go ahead and post these in the group on the Discord real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and say this before WavyD sees this. I had to change. First off, you did have a good week. I had to change Jennifer Lawrence's picture because it just didn't work for me, having her be the only square photo. But I chose a good one for you, or at least it's good to me. The pictures don't matter. Do your own research. Just vote by name, not by picture on the fucking poster. But we have Ruby Rose versus Scarlett Johansson. So being that there's only one matchup that's me versus you, and we're going to vote for us anyway, we'll vote in the Discord officially, but we'll talk about what we're talking about here. So who are you going to vote for? Who are you selecting to move on if you had the vote here?
I'll let the fans decide. You
gonna let the fans decide?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got Ruby Rose and Scarlett Johansson. That's both Team WavyD. We got both Team WeTooDeep. I'll go with this one. Is the Battle of the Haleys. Somehow Haley Welch moved forward past Sabrina Carpenter. Don't understand that one. But it's her versus Haley Steinfeld. We got Team WeTooDeep with Livy Dunn versus Team WavyD, Vanessa Hudgens, who was in the building yesterday looking good as hell. And then the final one is Jennifer Lawrence versus Margot Robbie for Team WavyD. So
I'll let the fans decide.
So we're going to let the fans decide these. Go to the Discord, make your votes, and we'll as a reminder, there is no show this Friday. We're going to take the holidays off. It is Thanksgiving. So hope everyone enjoys Thanksgiving, and enjoy Survivor Series next week. We're going to do our little recap show, and we'll click on, see what other news is popping at that point. But until then, we will see you next Tuesday. Y'all have a great holiday weekend. We will see you.
It's a little far out, but just so you guys can set your calendars.
Yeah.
Our end of the year award show.
Less than a month away, December 17th. We may go live with that one. I may do that as a live special.
Bet.
And so December 17th will be our end of the year awards. Me, WavyD will be here. I know James will be here, and I still got to confirm that Cody's going to be here. But I'm pretty sure he will be. But that'll be fun. That's about a little bit less than a month away. But with that, y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy Survivor Series, and we will see you on the next episode of the Slap and Meat Wrestling Podcast.
So hit that subscribe, come along for the ride. AEW, WWE, we're always on side. From fantasy booking to baddies that slay. Slap and Meat Wrestling every Tuesday.